Hello, Aries, and welcome to a timeless Justice for Aries reading where we discuss the topic of justice, however, the conversation would like to be had. Bear in mind that I run two sister channels. This is the channel for Sekhmet. To gain access to her sister channel, feel free to check out the description box below. Bear in mind that you have tapped into a collective reading that I, 7th, am holding it at this time. This is not a personal one-to-one connection. So utilizing your discernment is key to take the bits and pieces that you like of the reading and leave anything behind that you may not have enjoyed. This is depicted as justice. So however justice would like to, again, be disclosed within this reading is to the disclosure of whom I read for, which is for Sekhmet. To you, the listener, it may come off as merciful and or merciless. However, it is in true form, how the story wants to unfold. So keep that in mind. Whatever and however you're affiliated to the terminology of Aries, again, is in true form to also being here. And even if you're not associated to Aries, we all kind of bleed in some sort of interconnectedness regardless. So please remember that feminine and masculine energies within a reading are non-gender specific. However, femininity both has feminine and masculine energies. Masculinity as well has feminine and masculine energies. And lastly, if you want to know more details as to who I am as 7th, feel free to check out that description box below. It will give you some information via my website that you can utilize to figure out what it is that you want to know and book any services available through that. It's not really how I wanted it to come out, but there you have it. All right, let's get into the reading. I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that reads these energies for you. I am a master remote healer that provides remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights such as this. Jesus. Come on. You're a bit still... You're refusing to have some sort of ego death. Okay. You're challenged. This is like sideline view here. This isn't really... It's just like sideline news. Like, by the way, this is still a lurking issue. And a lurking issue, 2, 3, 4, is the fact that... No! All right. Hold on. Okay. This is a sideline issue. All right. They're like saying, listen, this is still a problem. And the problem with that message was you're refusing to have an ego death. All right. Why am I laughing? If you are someone who has come back to these readings, especially Aries readings, man, have you been inundated with Virgo energy and you really couldn't get away with it. And you don't want to accept that it's never going to go away. Part of that is however that resonates with you, whether you have a likability or a good example of what it means to have met a Virgo energy, or if you are yourself understanding that you also bestow Virgo in your astrological chart that makes you show up here to either someone telling you, you're telling yourself that your sun sign is Aries. So somewhere you may have the Virgo energy as well. All right. Virgo energy in major arcana is the Hermit energy. That's wild. It's 2:34 on the clock on my oven, and I said 2:34 a moment ago when it was 2 minutes and 300. What? They're saying, listen. You gotta listen. It's not about exactitude. It's about the things that are showing up in your universe as ultimate patterns that are showing up over and over again, whether you like it or not. And the likability is exactly why this is almost like a refutal? I don't know if that's a word or not. But it's a war happening with you on an emotional sideline of things that you don't know or either refusing, if you do know, of not letting go of something. And, not for nothing, this is an energy that is more or less 100% tied to indoctrination. So it's not their fault. It's not your fault. It's not a fault line. It's not a sin. However, it bleeds in accountability. If you don't take accountability towards something that is in your stratosphere, in your environment, in your inner world, affecting the outer world, and you're not doing something about it, and that is when it becomes your fucking problem. And no matter how much you want to have a close, tight-knit relationship with you and your divinity, whatever brings that into full disclosure in your centeredness, whatever you label that shit, it will arrive within you. Wherever you got it from. That's the narrative that makes it kind of complicated whom you can share that with, right? Whom in your close proximity of relation can you share the story of how you reach your inner groundedness, your inner centeredness? What resources do you use? And when does it sound, woo-woo? Like, wait a minute, is that you or who again? Archangel what? God who? Ooh. Ooh. You know what you're doing? And that right there is where the gimmick of social happy hour, of talking about your spiritual understanding or wherewithal of how you can create a story, which, mind you, never starts and never ends, okay? It's a continuum. And you have to be careful and not, it's air quotes and not air quotes, right? You have to be careful to expose yourself in the vastness of what you feel and how you collect your divinity and how you collect your centeredness and your inner groundedness and whatnot that gets you to do you, boo-boo. There's a huge dialogue, and a huge chunk of that dialogue dictates majority people's of choices, either before, middle, or after that fucking decision. And yet it is the number one dialogue that is still the most controversial dialogue to just have with just anyone. However, that's the elephant in the room. That's the easy way out. It might be complicated not to share, but if divinity and you are this close-knit, why do you need to, why need to share that with someone else, right? It's such a close relationship with divinity. And the closer you can have a connection with someone else is if they're in tune with their divinity. Because then it's like, ah, and I'm like, ah, and then we're like, ah, and we're like, oh, and we're like, ooh, and we're like, right? Like, that's still the elephant in the room. The who is you. The story that is not being held accountable, that is the most difficult story to change, to alter, to want, to desire, to be in, to mature of, is your own goddamn story. So, has Virgo left your stratosphere of energy? No. It will also never leave if you consider yourself being close to divinity, because you reach that through your belly of your gut instincts and your third eye of knowing and your centered groundedness of the breath that you take between the two. Welcome to Virgo energy, the deeper in an intergalactical approach to analyzing, overanalyzing. And the more categorical organized you are within this chaos, the closer you are to reaching your inner centeredness. That's Virgo energy. And then you have it that the galaxy is Virgo. Look at it. It's just new information, just like they finally figured out. Finally figured out what came first, the chicken or the egg. Apparently, they figured it out. So go on and fly. I need chapstick. I want to burn it. Hold on. It's weird because you don't feel dry. Oh, what are you doing, Aries? What are you doing? And in that, it's not about what you're doing. And you're like, what am I doing? Tell me what I'm doing. No, it's what you're not doing. And you're like, yeah, that. All right, 6 of Cups. That's why I came flying out. All right, listen, I get it. There are a lot of ebbs and flows in life, all right, that challenge the inner quest to figure out who you are internally. And, yeah, all the mishaps of treachery, all right, the tale will never end of how difficult life can be. And how inopportunistic, yeah? How difficult, right? She's in real time telling this story. But there are people that have lent a hand, have asked you to cross a bridge and trust them. Yeah, see? Literally, lend a hand. And you don't reach out. 5 of Pentacles, 5, 5, 5. Oh my Lord. 4 Swords. That's just. Ah! What the fuck? Bottom of the deck. Page of Cups. Yeah, who would have. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Both bookends. Absolute shit. Alright. I mean, come on now. I mean, come on. You wanna linger. You wanna linger in ego. Okay? I think everything's pinning. The divinity or halo is like chaos, 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 chaos. And you're like, chaos, bitch, chaos. It's chaos. Ugh. Like, wow, that has never come out in a reading. What the fuck is that? What are y'all doing? By the way, I saw 1001. Now I saw 1221. I'm losing it. We're losing it. Fuck. Alright. Okay. You're staying in the ego. You're refusing an ego death. Because this is all about emotions. Alright? It's literally like Becky over there and Susie and Tommy and blah blah and my parents and this and the ancestors and the spirits and the abuse and the still gonna pacify him. Shush. Shush. You've been getting a lot of opportunities, my friend. Your life may have had ebbs and flows of ugliness, but it had also some pixie dust of sprinkles of great opportunities. Because you remember moments where you should have taken the high road and you didn't. So that is a personal affliction, all right? That is a personal affliction to come in terms with. And yes, you want to blame other people for the atrocities of not reaching equilibrium. Yes, I've lost my nail. It's my nail that I lost. How sad is that? Totally got distracted on that. I totally fell into the ego. How are you going to take me as I look? Ooh, it's good. It's good. But get back to the point. Y'all can't get me. You can't drown me, all right? You've been given a hand of golden opportunities. And it's your fault for not taking them. Just period. All right, I'm trying to move on into this deck, so let's get oh, God. Alright, we have Knight of Cups again. It's that same card that came out on the sidelines earlier here. Knight of Cups with the 5 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. We got that hand reached out again. Ace of Pentacles. We got the moon energy. Secrets. And then we got Tower. The secret has been exposed that you have not taken the hand of opportunity. When you were in the moment of strife, there has always been opportunities to take the high road. And sometimes to go high, you have to go down to the valleys, because the valley will take you to the mountain top. That nail looks terrible. Right? The valley to the mountaintop. Ooh, literally the fucking howling of the moon. Which wolf will I feed? You will feed, no matter which one you choose, both. And that is the missing equation of the puzzle. That is the reason why some things work in your favor, some things are not. And when you think things are really working in your favor, it feels like, oh, this is great. I knew I am in my centeredness. And then something like a cockroach comes around the corner and you're like, fuck. Not everything is always golden. That's fucking right. Because even too much of a golden sun can be too sensitive for the skin. But it doesn't mean it's not healing. It just means you gotta train. You gotta train yourself, and you gotta go through conditioning. That's all that I have for you. That's it. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning and night wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.